Good evening, everyone. Being 7 o'clock, would you please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Elaine, can you call roll?
Mr. Burke?
Here.
Mr. Hand? Mr. Grover?
Here.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Here.
Ms. Lesniak? Mrs. Vanderbilt?
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes of our regular meeting on January 15th, 2025?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. Any questions or comments? Lynn, I know you had some updates to that, but the corrected versions are up online. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Any citizen comments tonight?
Tom?
Already? Do I have to come up there?
Yes, you have
Yes,
to come
please.
up to the microphone, tell us your name, your address, and
She just told me my name. I'm sorry. Good evening, Tom Rasbeck, 24 Comaine Road. Looking at the agenda tonight, I realized that we're once again revisiting this rezoning. I just hope when this is being considered, you'll remember that 2 weeks ago, the room was full of people that gave you their opinions, and I hope you'll consider them whenever you're reconsidering this issue. Thank you.
thank you. Sheila?
Hi, Sheila Johnson, 114 Main Road, and same thing, I'm here to reiterate what the crowd spoke of last time we were here. This is not something people want. They do not want smaller lot sizes. They do not want more dense housing, and especially along the other waterfront. That is a lifestyle, and that should not be messed with. You can't get that back. So I just strongly reiterate that if it means I have to go door to door to see how many pro and cons, I will do that. Make sure people know about it. That's how important, that's how passionate this neighborhood is about this neighborhood. Again, I have concerns with traffic. Even now, when you try to park on the side of the road, your family's got 4 cars. Where do you put these cars? Where does your company park? Your lawns are not big enough to have family activities. We do have the park, and there's 2 more proposed parks, I believe. Why are those parks? I'd rather have a larger yard, my own yard, that we can do activities in our own yard. 3 parks in that neighborhood I don't think are necessary, and it was made to seem like it was done to benefit the neighborhood. Is it truly to benefit the neighborhood, or is that some kind of a tax write-up for putting the housing in and not developing that area? I just like full transparency, because I think people would really prefer bigger yards. And again, I just don't see it. Some of the streets in the newer part of the neighborhood are narrower than the other streets. Extremely unsafe. The speed is 30 miles an hour. I don't feel safe going over 20 in that neighborhood. You have children coming in and out of those driveways. You have buses. You have teenagers learning how to drive. You have kids on bicycles. It's not safe. Then you come into snow season, where we've been lucky the last couple of years. I know what I got up in Mexico right now. Where are you putting all that snow? It's just, there's no place to put it. It's not safe. You can't see around the snow banks as it is. So it's just, I don't believe anybody's interested in having the zoning changed. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Moving on to number 1, can I get a motion to approve the budget transfers? These are pretty self-explanatory. We're just moving the Veterans Outreach from his contractual line to payroll so we can pay him a salary, and then moving funds to pay for Dave's 2 shiny new trucks. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Bob. Any other questions or comments? Are you loving the trucks?
Little quirks, but they're going good.
Okay, good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 2, can I get a motion to consider seek a resolution for the 2024 Community Development Project for Canton Woods Senior Center renovations? The town declares itself lead agency, unlisted action. We are proceeding on an uncoordinated basis and rendering a negative declaration. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mike, seconded by Jenny. Jason, anything you want to speak to on that?
No, this is a requirement of the funding source,
Right.
community development, so this is the process we have to go through to.
Okay. Any other questions or comments, board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Speaking of which, can I get a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the CBDC grant awarding $50,000 to Canton Woods Senior Center for this development project?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Jenny. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 4, can I get a motion to appoint Jaden White as MEO at the Highway Department effective 2/10/25 at a pay rate per the collective bargaining agreement?
I'll make the motion.
And I will second.
Motion made by Mike, seconded by Bob. Any questions or comments? This is backfilling your position? Okay, so this will give you a full crew. Great. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve $10,884 to be paid out of the highway fund balance for the purchase of the 10-wheel truck for the highway department? This was on last board meeting's agenda for the truck that we're talking about, and I think there was an adding error with how much we put in the referendum for the cost of the truck. So instead of adjusting that, we're pulling it out of fund balance. Okay? Can I
I'll
get a
make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mike, seconded by Bob. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Number 6, review application to town board for zone change as requested by Eldon Homes, Inc. for tax map number 036.03-21.0. Request is from zoning R40 to R20 with possible clustering for referral to the planning board. So we've received this application for the zone change, and I know Dan Barnabas here. Is there anything, Dan, you wanted to speak to regarding this to the board?
No.
No? Okay. So typically when we receive the request, if the board was inclined to move this forward to planning, before the request was for R15, now the request is for R20 to consider that zone change. Is there anyone inclined to move this forward? Okay, hearing none. Can I get a motion to deny the request for the zone change?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. Any other questions or comments from the board?
I guess the one thing I want to reiterate to Mr. Barnaba is we did have a couple weeks ago quite a number of the people and the homeowners within the Harbor Heights, and we brought forth to you traffic considerations that we have, and I guess the biggest concern, considering I also live in that neighborhood, and I see it on a daily basis when we have these water issues coming down. I think that's where most of us, at least I do, stand on why I'm denying this.
I'm a little confused. You're saying that the water issues and the traffic issues are there now?
The traffic issue we have substantially
So
along
without
Route
the
31.
construction, you already have a traffic problem?
Correct.
And a water problem?
We do have a water problem going down Co-Main. I mean,
Just
we
want to
have-
make sure that they're already there.
they're already there.
Okay.
Yes.
Does my application fee get refunded when the application's not accepted or when it's not? moved forward?
Nadine, I don't know the answer to that. Do you know the answer to that?
Don't.
Okay,
If the
I can
board-
find it.
Oh, sorry.
I could find that out and let you know.
Just want to make it very clear, this was an effort to find a compromise.
I understand
And what
that.
I've heard is R20 wasn't as dense as R15, and so now there's no compromise. as far as I'm concerned, on behalf of the town.
So what we heard at the public hearing from the residents in this room, where it was standing room only, was that they didn't want the zone changed at all. And so,
About 20 or 30 people spoke. Mr. Grover, do you know what the population is in the town of Van Buren?
Off the top of my head, no.
14,000. Do you know how many homes are in the Harbor Heights neighborhood?
300 and something, I believe.
About 300.
Correct.
So what I saw was a crowd that was encouraged to come, and I didn't think there were that many people there considering the population of Harbor Heights and the population of the town of Van Buren.
Considering the emails and the word of mouth throughout the rest of the neighborhood for the people who didn't show up, you'd be quite surprised at how many of those 300 homes.
I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Okay.
Looking forward to seeing them. I'm sure the process will bear out.
I'm sure.
You're going to be getting contacted soon. We have up until March 1st to clear trees before we have to respect an Indiana bat issue. So we're making arrangements to get that done while the time frame still allows. So we'll be getting contacted, I'm sure. Just giving you the courtesy of the heads up.
Appreciate that.
thank you. So no further action at this time is to be taken on this request. Moving on to number 7. Can I get a motion to approve the commissioning of the Erie Canal sign by John Landers not to exceed $1,236.30? Jen, did you want to speak to that?
Yes, I do. So John Landers, who is a local artist in CNY, he's done a lot of events, whether it's the craft shows, the sidewalk chalks, or stuff that you can see on the news channels. He's done a lot of artwork, and he has created a new sign for us for the Erie Canal Park in Memphis. And what we are going to do is decommission the existing sign, and he's going to create this and install this in the place of the existing sign. Also, we're looking for to seek an art grant for this project. So we're hoping that we will get that moved forward and see that soon.
That's exciting. I think that in real life is going to look amazing out at the park.
It is.
I feel like that is like a unknown park out there, and I would really encourage people to take a walk out to Memphis. It's a really lovely park out there.
Yeah.
Did he state what his timeline on completing that would be?
So, I know John is very meticulous, so it will take some time, I'm sure, for him to do this, but once he gets started, I'm sure it'll probably take maybe a couple months. And also, I'm sure he's got a certain signature on his projects that he hides a heart. So when you go to Erie Canal and you look at the directory and you see the sign, you can search and find the heart, because he won't tell you where it is, but.
All right, well, Groundhog said we have 6 weeks left of winter, so he's got 6 weeks.
Yep.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Mike, thank you. Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. Any other questions or comments?
No, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 8, can I get a motion to approve the 2025 staff wages for the Parks Department? Heidi sent an email or a memorandum around. This is for her returning staff. The memo is dated January 29th, 2025. And again, this is the start of her summer staff, and these are her returning people that are already committed to come back.
I'll make that motion. I think this is an amazing thing that we keep on getting return employees for the program.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Mike. Any other comments, questions? I don't know if you guys really looked at the memo, but we have Mary Beth Valentine, who was a 20-year employee, and Alicia Montague, who's a 15-year employee. So that, like Jen said, speaks volumes to the work ethic and the work environment up at the Parks Department, that these folks keep coming back just for summer employment.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 9, can I get a motion to approve the revised building permit fees for the codes office?
I'll make that motion.
And I will second.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Bob. We approved the schedule of fees for the codes office at our organizational meeting on January 1st. The codes department felt that there were two fees that were still a little out of line. They were specific to the cell tower and the co-location of the cell towers. They were just a little out of range, so they brought them down. So those are going to be the only changes you're going to see. So we'll get this new schedule of fees uploaded on the website, and they'll be available in the codes office for anyone who wants to look at them. Motion made by Jen, seconded by Bob. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 10 is to accept the resignation of Mary Gilbert, assessor clerk. Her resignation dated January 31st, 2025, effective May 12th, 2025. Mary has been with the town for 20 years. In fact, I was part of the personnel committee when she was hired 20 years ago. She's been an incredibly dedicated employee and has been an asset to the town, so we're really gonna miss her when she retires and forgets all about us. I know Teresa is working on filling that role right now, but we will significantly miss her and all the information and experience she has for that office, but we're happy that she's retiring soon.
20 years.
Can I get a motion to accept that?
I'll make that.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Mike. Any other questions or comments?
Congratulations.
I know, makes me jealous.
Big milestone.
The best of luck.
Hey, Mike, you and Mary can go hang out and get coffee because you're retired too.
Coffee time.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 11, can I get a motion to approve the reimbursement of boots for our code enforcement officer, not to exceed $140?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Mike, motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, I have a penciled in number 12. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the supervisor to execute the contract for OLEX Digital for our new website remodel, subject to review and approval of the contract by the town attorney. Said contract for our new website not to exceed $12,145.70. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Bob. Any questions or comments?
I can't wait.
Yeah.
This has been a long time coming. I think we started this process in November. We interviewed and reviewed several applicants, and our IT guru, Mike, nitpicked and poked and prodded and questioned and reported back to us and brought a wealth of knowledge to helping us all understand this whole process. So thank you so much for that, Mike. But if anyone's gone to the website, you will know that it's very antiquated, it's very blah, and it needs a refresh, and here we go. Unfortunately, I had no idea how expensive websites were, but this was one of the cheaper ones, so it's crazy. So excited to move forward with this. So motion by Jen, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, counselor committee reports. Michael?
Nothing?
Jen?
No? I had Thursday, the 23rd of January, we had a facility meeting with the committee, and we went over a lot of items, which I haven't passed out the minutes to you guys yet, sorry. But we're talking about putting a 5-year capital plan on a spreadsheet so that we have a moving capital plan. We talked about the trees over at the canal. Park, we talked about Van Buren Park, some renovations, the pavilion, some new business on some programs potentially, and our grant money. So I think that we made a lot of progress. Heidi has received already 30 to 40 calls on the summer rec program already. So that's great.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
fantastic to hear. She's just waiting for the health department to give her the green light, and I don't know, maybe she's already gotten it since our meeting. I also have a board meeting tomorrow at Kentwoods at 7:45, and I will report to you guys an update from Kentwoods next.
And for the park, the pavilion rentals are open now, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
I saw that on the website
Oh, okay, good.
just yesterday, I believe, so.
All right, thanks, Jen.
You bet.
Bob?
Just figured I'd touch base a little bit on the public safety, hoping that everybody slows down, watches out for the plows for the highway department. I have noticed on some of the roads, we've got a little higher snowbanks than we normally have because we've had some simple, easy winters in the past. So the roads are getting a little more narrower. I have heard through our highway supervisor that we are in a little better position than some of the other towns on our salt load, which is good for us. It's one thing that we looked at budget time and made sure that we kept it level, at the same level every year, just in case of this reason. And that would be it.
Okay, great. I have one more thing. Lynn, can I just make an announcement that Thursday, February 20th at 3 p.m., we're going to have another facility committee meeting at Van Buren Park,
What time?
3 p.m. Thank you.
You said the 20th, correct?
Yeah, February 20th, Thursday.
Okay. Supervisor comments. Can I go back and add a 13?
I was going to suggest it.
All right, can I pencil in a 13? Can I get a motion to approve the supervisor to sign the polling place agreement with Onondaga County to allow this building to be a election location for voting?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Jenny. Any other questions?
Not at all.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Sorry, guys. And then I just have two things. I received the 2024 annual report from our town historian. It's really interesting that we have an historian, and if anyone has any questions about the town's history, I would really encourage you to call our town historian, Steve McMahon. He's phenomenal. I won't go through the whole report, but for 2024, he has received 8 requests regarding the history in Van Buren. And of the 7 requests, he has responded to 4 of them, so he's still working on the other 3. He has created and organized a digital inventory of local history information and images in his office. And he's worked on cataloging all of the framed photographs in the hallway. He's developed and executed a plan for creating an online presence for the local history on our town website. He's collaborated with other history entities such as Lysander Historian, McCary Legacy, and others to accomplish shared goals on behalf of the public. And he's met with a group regarding preservation of historical artifacts from the brickworks in Warner's. And he's working in preparation of the 2025 bicentennial of the completion of the Erie Canal. So he's working on a lot of different celebrations as far as that goes. So I just want to take a moment to thank Steve. It is a thankless job, but for a historian guru, this is probably not a job at all. He loves doing it. And I do want to invite him back to one of our board meetings for a presentation, because when he was here, it was great.
He also mentions in this memo that he did discover the documentation to validate the hypothesis that the midpoint is located in Cabela's and not in Van Buren. For Erie Canal.
So they were right.
So
They were right.
That's all right, they can have it.
And then the only other thing is I got a report from the zoning office. They're just kicking butt over there and doing great. Number of building permits issued for January was 7. Inspections performed 46. Annual fire inspections performed 6. Violations issued 13. Appearance tickets 1. Certificate of compliance is 23. Certificates of occupancy 13. Complaints received 33. Complaints closed out 29. Total revenue taken in for that time period was $1,076.02. And the total of value of all the projects being worked on in Van Buren is $254,985.
Nice.
So, yeah, they're really, really doing a fantastic job in the codes
Oh,
office.
it's so nice to finally hear that.
Yeah. And with that said, I will move on to highway. Dave,
No comments.
you're wishing it was 6 weeks now already.
Do not like the woodchuck right now.
looks like you have more work coming your way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jason, anything?
Onondaga County's going through their 5-year update of their hazard mitigation plan, of which every municipality has an appendix in it. Ours has been updated and submitted, so our obligation to them is done for 5 years.
Wonderful. Thank you for doing that. Anything else?
Half of it was scrubbing my name out, but
Okay. Town attorney, anything?
I have nothing.
Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn to our next meeting, February 19th at 7 PM?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mike, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Yes, thank you.
You have to say,
The 20th is the day.